now, the feature so many of our listeners wait for each day. Producer's Picks.
Producer's Picks is when my producer, Jared Diglio, goes over all of the hottest stories of the day, and he tells us what's on his mind. Because some of the stories that I go through, they don't interest Jared. And some of the stories he goes through, I wouldn't necessarily pick out.
I would say that's accurate.
So let's see what he's got today. It's always an interesting collection.
It's a nice, delicate balance.
Exactly.
So first off, I want to call to attention February 23rd. On this day in 1945, U.S. Marines on Iwo Jima captured Mount Suribachi, where they raised two American flags. The first one and then the second one is the iconic photo of the 6 Marines.
Great photo.
It's great. Research it. Check out the photo. I think there are statues or monuments. Yep. Go check those out before they're ripped down. But a very important day. That was a big day for the Marines, big day for the country, and a big point of World War II.
Jared, you are starting off strong with a little bit of patriotism and history. I like it a lot.
Woman finds kilo of cocaine in crochet kit bought at a Seattle store.
Jared, this is the second day that you've had a cocaine story. A smuggling cocaine
there's
story.
There's a Biden administration. It's going to be everywhere.
You're right. This might be an everyday type of deal.
A woman got a big surprise after she bought a craft kit in a thrift shop in Seattle's Greenwood neighborhood over the weekend. The woman purchased a kit to crochet animal hats, and when she opened it, there was a suspicious heavy package in yellow rubber, and it had 100% written on the outside. So this was some pure, good old-fashioned Bogota bullion, as they say on the street.
Well, she definitely got her money's worth.
Yes, she did. And now, it is time for the computer to not work.
Oh, I was going to say, the suspense is killing me.
Now it is time for
Tales from Chicago. Go.
Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town.
This was a one-hit segment we did a while back. I promised a little more about Chicago. Here we go.
Wow, and you came with the music and everything. I love it.
So carjackings in Chicago are up 135%.
Damn.
So rest assured, Representative Marcus Evans has the answer. Ban the sale of the Grand Theft Auto video game, which glorifies carjacking.
Has that game now, am I crazy? Has that game been out for like 20 years?
It's close. I mean, I remember I used to play the second one, and then we're talking about 2003, 2004, so it's been out for a while.
And even before that, you had Simpsons Road Rage.
Yes, Simpsons Road Rage was a great game.
It was so
good.
Wasn't it so fun? I love that game.
Yes,
we have more. Do you know what, Jared? We have more in common than we think.
I think we do.
There you go.
On Friday, Rep. Marcus Evans Jr. filed HB 3531, which would amend the law to ban the sale to anyone of video games depicting psychological harm, including motor vehicle theft with a driver or passenger present.
This is what's wrong with politicians. They're always going after things and putting new things on the book that don't have any effect in real life. There's plenty of people who play that video game who don't go out and actually steal cars.
Yes, I played it hours on end when I was in my 20s, and I've never stolen a car.
So you say. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And it's just another thing to waste their time on. They need to figure out, they need to prioritize. You know, like what's a real issue?
So Mike Bloomberg, who you remember famously stiffed his political staff.
Yes.
On their paychecks. I don't know if you've seen this, but seems Mini Mike took some time out of his busy biting pizza, licking his fingers, and sticking them back in the pizza box.
Oh my
Crime
gosh.
against humanity.
I
schedule.
forgot about that. That was pre-COVID. Can you imagine if he did that today?
There is no greater act of a sociopath than taking the pizza, biting it, putting back, and licking your fingers and sticking your hands back in there.
If you guys missed that, stop what you're doing and Google it, YouTube it. It really was part of what derailed his entire presidential campaign. I mean, That and that terrible commercial about dogs for Bloomberg.
Oh my God, I forgot that.
He was a walking PR disaster, but I forgot about the licking of the fingers.
Oh, it's burned into my brain.
It was worse than double dipping. It was so slobbery and gross.
Yeah.
And the pizza was supposed to be, I think, for the people working for him. And it was like,
Yes.
Thanks a lot, man. We want this now. Yuck.
So nearly a year after his $1 billion presidential campaign crashed, his staffers are still dealing with aftershocks, according to this article.
Is that aftershocks, like as in they're not getting paid?
Well, not only are they not getting paid, but in recent weeks, aides have gotten their, tax forms, which in some cases indicate they are tens of thousands of dollars more than what they were actually paid.
Oh.
Now, this is significant because not only does it completely screw up their tax filings and their claims and everything else,
Right.
because of this extra reported income that they never received, it seems many of these employees, if not all of them, are not eligible for the COVID stimulus check based on their income.
Mike Bloomberg, you've screwed him again. First with the pizza, then with the paychecks, now with the COVID relief. Wow, what? Oh, gosh.
Wasn't this guy an economic wizard? Why do all the economic wizards not understand anything about economics?
I have to say, and I think that the pandemic is partially responsible for this, but I know I had said that 1 month under Joe Biden feels like a couple of years, but what I really do have to say is that when I think about a time where we were talking about Mike Bloomberg and the dog commercial, dogs for Bloomberg, and licking the pizza, and it feels like a decade ago that Mike Bloomberg was running for president. So much has happened since then. We were so naive when we thought that that was like the big problem, is that, oh, Mike Bloomberg. Look at us now. If I could go back and see that girl who was watching the video of Mike Bloomberg lick his fingers and stick them into a pizza, I would say, enjoy this. Because life's got a lot of curveballs ahead.
And another pizza story. This one is better pizza, but it's also a little bit sad. Portland, Maine, the iconic late-night Portland pizza parlor Bill's Pizza is going to close after decades.
Aww.
The Holy Donut will be taking over the location right in the old port there. But if anybody ever stumbled out of $3 Dewey's at very late hours in the mornings and you needed something to soak up the grease, Bill's Pizza was where it was at. Very good pizza. Many a night I kind of remember but don't remember having pizza there. Very sad to see Bill's Pizza go.
You never like to see a pizza place go out. I mean, not to make this, Jared, about me, because you were just, I wouldn't want to do that. It's not really, the type of person I am. But there's a pizza place near me that we've been going to since we were little. And I don't think he went out of business. Like, I think he decided that he was done. We haven't really gotten the full story yet. But it's crazy because it's hard to find, especially if you really like pizza, it's hard to find a place that's your spot,
Right.
And then you get used to it years and years in the making, and then one day they're gone. It's like I feel like he should have had to consult with some of us before he made this huge decision. Like one day we show up and it's all cardboarded. What?
Yeah, that's always tragic.
Yeah.
You gotta hold on to those gems because they are few and far between.
Especially a Greek pizza place.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good.
So in news involving why isn't this a television show or was this a movie in 1988? This is from CBS News. They sent out the tweet, which I have retweeted. Police in Karachi, Pakistan are training an armed rollerblading unit to better prevent theft and harassment in the streets. So take that, bike cops. We got rollerblade cops now.
I kind of see this. I kind of understand it because
It looks amazing.
people who can rollerblade, I do think you are you have a better chance of catching someone if you're on blades rather than on a bike. I mean, not to bring Howie into this, but remember when he was on a bike? He tried
Vaguely,
to reach for
describe it to me again.
He tried to reach for his cell phone or something. He fell off, broke his elbow. But if he had been on blades,
Could have broken 2 elbows.
I know. God knows what would happen if he had been on blades. But I when I was little, we had a street that was popular for people to rollerblade on, like kids, who played hockey and stuff. They would bring out their blades and play street hockey. And I kind of understand that. I do think you have a little bit more leeway. You got free hands. You could catch a robber.
Well, I guess it's a training video or publicity video, whatever it is, but they're rollerblading around and they're going down steps, guns drawn. I mean, it is badass. Like it looks great.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not for everybody, but sometimes if you're good at it, you ever seen people like in New York when New York wasn't, done for, but people would be rollerblading.
A post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Yeah. Or if you're out in California, it's like an art form.
Yeah.
They really can do it. It's like figure skating or something. It's wild. Guys, I have to let you know that this week, it's the week you've been waiting for. My friends at Eden Pure have brought back the ever so popular Thunderstorm Air Purifier BOGO offer. That's buy one, get one free. The offer expires Sunday, February 28th at midnight. With over 60,000 sold, the Thunderstorm is slated to sell out. So take advantage of this offer while supplies last. If you've bought one and love it the way I do, then order now and you'll have 2. Debbie from Auburn, Maine wrote, wet dogs, sausage, and cigars was no match for the Thunderstorm. What more do you need to know? Those are 3 very strong smells. Matt the vet loved it so much he bought 2 more. I have 2 in my house. It's great for after we cook steak. And it's great just to keep the air moving in the winter. You got a lot of windows and doors shut tight. The air can get kind of stale. And it's nice to keep it circulating. Guys, if you want one, you got to take advantage of this BOGO offer. The Thunderstorm is below $100 and doesn't take up any room. No filters are needed. So if you're lazy or if you just want a small device that doesn't take up a lot of space, this is your product. Take advantage of the BOGO offer before it expires this Sunday or before supplies run out. Go to EdenPure.com and put in code word GraceBOGO. That's EdenPure.com. Grace BOGO. Shipping is free. We will be back on the other side with Howie Carr. Jared Diglio, thank you for Producer's Picks. Very interesting smattering of topics. We went from pizza to rollerblades to car theft. There's nothing we can't do in Producer's Picks. We'll be back on the other side, guys, with the captain. This is the Grace Curley Show.
You're listening to the Grace Curley Show.